One, I'm glad you told me the schedule because I wouldn't have any idea of what that schedule was. Two, after making some assessments, I'm quite frankly glad that we don't start until next Monday. We need a lot of work. It's quite a chore, obviously, to bring so many new pieces into a situation and try to get them functioning the way you would hope a college basketball team would function. So we've got a lot of work in front of us, and we don't. It's not a ton of time before we're in the mix playing basketball games, but I'm very thankful right now that we're not playing like today, right now in this moment.
Coach, what are some things you're going to be looking for next week? Those first three games, they're obviously going to have a couple different lineups, I'm assuming, with so many new players. What are some things specifically that you're going to look for in your team to know that you and your staff are at the right place moving this team forward?
That everybody wears the same colored jersey, that we show up to the game at the right time, that we sit on the proper bench, that we know who our teammates are. Just organizational. I mean, I'm being obviously a little bit facetious, but it's just a lot of organizational things that you want to make sure initially that you get those things right, because before you can win, you have to not lose. And that's really where you're at when you have a lot of new people like that. So I'm looking for things that are very coach speak, effort, teamwork, intelligence, as much as we can possess at this early in the year. Trying to do things the right way. I think, again, I repeat, before we can win, before we can be good, we have to not lose, not be bad. We have to try to get on the same page and grow together as a team.
Coach, your team did get off to a great start last year, so whatever you did last year was obviously working, trying to make it happen again this year. You do start off at home on Monday night. How much of an advantage is that? A lot of teams have to start on the road, especially in Division II, whether it be a neutral site or just a true road contest. How much of an advantage is it for that first game to be at home in your home gym?
I think anytime you can play at home in this environment, with our fans and our community, I think that's always a plus, always a net plus. We have one of the best venues in Division II college basketball to play in. I think teams enjoy coming here. They always say they do. They love the place. We love our place. We love our fans. We love our home. Really hoping to have an opportunity to have a lot of people show up and show out for us. All kidding aside, all facetiousness aside, we do have a lot of new guys, but we have a lot of talented new guys. So we have an opportunity for people to get, I don't know if we'll be, 7-0 and 10-1 or whatever that is that we were last year. It's a new year, but we have a lot of guys that can play and have proven they can play and played at the Division I level. So playing at home is a plus. Having talent is a plus. If I do my job and get them, like I said, teasing about being in the right uniforms and those things, if I do my job and help the kids to get acclimated as quickly as possible, I think wherever we play will be good. It's always good to be home, but wherever we play would be good.
Coach, year number 31 for you in college basketball. Not to make you blush there, but what are some of the biggest changes that you've seen over the course of your career? And as basic as a question as that sounds, just from day one when you started coaching college basketball, what are some of the biggest differences you see now? And also, what are some of the things that you feel like within your program have stayed the same?
Well, the two biggest differences from when I started at this time in 1992 is I had a head full of hair with an S curl, and this beard was not white. So those are the two most significant differences for me, but those are personal. There are monumental changes to the game of basketball since 1992. There's a lot more opportunity for players. They have the opportunity to transfer, and they use that opportunity very liberally through the vis-a-vis the portal. Obviously, the name, image, and likeness, which is in far too often, too many cases, has become just a pay situation. That has dramatically changed the game. The reason why that changes is when, kids are not going to stay if they're not playing generally, and that really impacts programs profoundly. There are rules changes. Obviously, the shot clock is shorter than it was when I first got in the game. The three-point line is farther out. The game of basketball is played dramatically different. In 1992, if you didn't have a team that averaged in height 6'5" or bigger, and you played with 2 post guys around the basket, now we play 5 out. We have a position on our floor called the Joker spot, which is named after Jokic of Denver. That's a spot high out on the floor where our post player plays on the perimeter. People still ask how many big guys you got, and what they don't realize is it doesn't really matter. The system of a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5 to identify players is antiquated as Jurassic Park animals, because that's not relevant. You have to be a perimeter player. 4 and 5 players are playing on the perimeter at all times in the game. It's about pace and space. Always watch the NBA. I don't, because I don't particularly like it, but I encourage you to watch the NBA if you want to have a feel for where the game is going. And the game is going very, very much to the three-point line. 35, 40 three-point attempts a game. Give you an idea, most college basketball games, you have an average of about 80 possessions in a game. So that's 50% of your shots or your possessions. And you usually get, on a good night, 60 shots in that 80 possessions. So, that's just amazing. Just the changes. The changes are, some of them are good, some of them are not that good in my opinion, but really for me, I don't really care. When you're coaching, it's not for me to judge the changes, it's for me to adjust to the changes and prepare my team for what the realities that we have. So I don't really care one way or the other. I do care about the bald head because I have to shave every morning for 15 minutes to get to look this good, and the white beard I just gave into. So Just for Men is no longer in business because I was keeping them in business.
Since 1992, Coach Wilson has been a part of college basketball. You heard it there, folks. Still looking as good as ever, and ready to get the 22-23 basketball season started next Monday. Coach, appreciate your time.
Go Patriots.